What's up, you guys? Welcome to today's video. I am back with Larry Lawton in Florida, and today's video we're going to be talking about all of the fucked up thing that has happened to Larry. He's been shot, he's been stabbed, he has been pissed on in prison by staff. So we're gonna get into all of that, and I will leave all of Larry's links in the description box of this video. Go subscribe to the GOAT that is Larry Lawton, and thank you for coming back and hanging out with me again.
You know, we're on this trip and we figured to get enough in. I love talking. We can talk forever, cameras on or not. We talk about a lot of things. So I love coming on your show, Jess.
You give a perspective that I can't. You've experienced so much shit, so much chaos. So you said in the end of the first video that we did that you were shot and stabbed. Do you want to start there? Yeah,
I was actually shot during a robbery. It went through the tip of my head, and the bullet to this day is in my brother. There's a video on my channel about that. So I ducked, the bullet comes through the window, goes through my head, I got a little blood trickling down here. My brother ducks, it goes in his back, through the back and into his arm. He still has the bullet in him to this day.
Oh my God.
We just did a video on that. I was stabbed twice in prison. And I stabbed 2 people in prison. Because you know, you got to do what you have to do. When you're in a maximum security prison, we're not talking about game players. We're talking about, I was in a prison, we had 2,000 inmates. 880 had life. Never seen daylight, ever. And in the feds, life is life. They call it letters. There's no parole in that system. So it's not like you do 25 in the state and get up for parole. No, life is life, period. That's all they do in prison. And so I was stabbed once on the yard. And, you know, I think your audience will understand this if they know anything about what suitcasing is.
Yeah.
Well, suitcasing is, for the ones who don't know, is hiding something in your rectum. I hid a knife in my rectum.
Larry, a whole ass knife?
You take the steel shank and you put it in a toothbrush holder. A half of a toothbrush holder.
That's a lot.
No, it's really not when you think about it. You know, the human body, I'll be a little scientific. The human body, most people have 7 extra inches in their anal canal to hide something. That's not being gross. And I took a half of a toothbrush holder, put a steel shank in it, did the end with masking tape with a point, inserted in my rectum, all the way in my rectum, and I went through 3 metal detectors. And if I did not suitcase that knife, I wouldn't be here today. So you do what you have to do in prison to survive. I think you know that. And it's stuff that you might not want to do, of course. I don't think anybody wants to walk around with a knife up their ass. But people do use suitcasing for a lot of things. I've done it for transfers, bringing a note or something special to another prison. Something I had to do. That is normal in prison. It's called suitcasing. And even on the street, you would know this, addicts, a lot of them, would suitcase dope in case they got arrested.
Yep.
And so it's still the same thing in prison. It's another hiding spot, I call it.
So why did that guy stab you on the yard?
We had a beef over pulling paperwork. I used to pull people's paperwork to find out what they are.
Yep.
Snitch, child molester, you know, not the crime he said. I used to pull gang members, certain like that. And that's what happened. He was mad that I outed him.
What do you lie about?
Listen, he was a gang member, and he was one of the bigger gang members, and he was the snitch. So, didn't like that.
That fucked his whole life up.
Oh, he got fucked up a lot worse than I did, even after that incident. But if I didn't have that knife, when we got into a knife fight, I would have been defenseless. Yeah. The guard shot down on the yard. They do that in maximum security prisons. They don't play. You're on the yard, something goes down, you know, there's laws. You lay down on your stomach with your hands wide. If you don't, they'll shoot you, and they will shoot you. And it's not with rubber bullets and all that bullshit. They will fucking kill you. period.
Can you tell my audience the significance and the importance of why it is you have to know who you are doing time with and why it was important to pull paperwork?
Well, if it was somebody I didn't give a fuck about, I'm not going to be around, I wouldn't give a shit. I did it for different shot callers. The Hispanics or the Crips or the Bloods or the GD or the Gangsta Disciple, whatever gang, and it could be white gangs, Aryan Brother, Aryan Circle, Aryan Nation, DWBs. So if that happened, I would talk to the shot call and they'd want paperwork pulled. It's so important because I don't want to my cellies, I knew everything about my cellie. Fuck what they told me.
Yep.
I knew what they were because I don't want to live with a child molester. I don't want to live with a snitch. That was my own level of stuff. Now, there are people, we all know this, that prisons are full of snitches, they're full of this. I especially towards the end, I didn't give a fuck. Dude, get the fuck away from me. I don't want to know who you are. I don't give a fuck what you did. Get away from me. Until it came into my space.
Yeah.
And if it's in my space, I don't want to be associated with that. Because in prison, if you're walking around the track with a child molester, people are going to think you're a child molester. If you're walking a track with a known snitch, people are going to think you're a snitch. So it's guilt by association. And I never wanted that, and I never would have that either.
And how long were you there?
I went to prison from 1996, and I didn't get out till 2007. I had 4 12-year sentences run concurrently, and I did 11, a little over 11 and change on my time.
Wow. At some point, you're in Edgefield. Tell me about your experience there.
That's a tough one. You know, that's the prison that I was strapped down naked, beaten, and tortured. What happened was the prison medical was killing people. And when I say literally killing them, a friend of mine has arm pain, 3 cells from his name, James Arch. Yeah, he was an Indian guy, nice guy, used to hang on a yard with him. He was 46 years old. He did not have a life sentence. He had, I think, 7 years. And he was having like arm pain, chest pain. Goes to medical. They said nothing. He's looking so bad one day. The guards he works for, it's called CMS. They say to him, hey, listen, get to medical. You look terrible. This is the own prison CMS, which is the guards that handle those who work in industries. He goes to medical, they kick him out, and they gave him Maalox and said, you got gas, get out of here. Jess, he walks into the unit, he grabs my friend Jimmy, and we're both standing right near the door looking at a TV on the stanchion. He says, man, I feel like I'm dying. We put him in a chair, he keels over, he dies. And if you ever seen a person die, they shit and piss themselves. That's just what it is. You piss and shit yourself when you die. He dies, and these guards come running out. Lockdown, lockdown, you know how they do it. And we all go to our cells. Now, they took him out of there. When they put him on a stretcher, you could see the feces and whatever, the wet spot where he was. They put him on a stretcher on the back of a golf cart because my cell was facing the main door. So they bring him out, they put him on the golf cart, and they're laughing. And I'm seeing this through my window. I'm seeing it through my window. So the guards come around and say, you saw him hit his head, right? I says, what? I says, you motherfuckers, you killed him as much as I fucking can shoot somebody. You killed this fuck. What do they do to Larry? They put him in a hole.
Yep.
They take me in a hole. They tried to break me. I am the person who gets madder and madder. I got so mad, I started writing centers, writing people. They started coming. The first time I didn't know it. They come down, and in the hole, there's different tiers. So whenever you're in the hole in prison, you can never leave that cell without being in handcuffs, period. So you hear them come down, the first thing they'll do to your cell is bang and say, "Lawton, lock up." Meaning you come to the back of the door, you put your hands behind your back, and they reach through the food chute, and they lock you up, and then they'll open the door and bring you out. It's called lock it up. Well, the first time they came, they beat me. They come down, and I don't hear them say lock up. I hear the change. You hear everything when you're in the hole. And my door starts clicking open, and I jump up, and they rush in, beat the fuck out of me. Literally, I'm on the ground, beating the fuck up, and they're spitting on me. Wow, I'm getting goosebumps.
Me too.
And saying, keep right and center. As one guard took his dick out, opened his pants, took his dick out, and peed on me. And fucking, I can remember the taste and the warmth of a guy peeing in my face. Now, it took a lot of years for me to not want to kill that guy. I used to say, it took me over 5 years to say I wouldn't kill him. I used to dream about fucking murdering him. And the reason now I feel bad for him, how fucked up is his life if he has to go and take advantage of a dude who's in the worst part of his life? He must have a shitty life, because why would another human do? And all they kept saying while they were peeing on me and spitting on me was, keep writing senators, Lord, keep writing senators. Well, I did. But every single month, now they didn't pee on me again, but what they did was, I got smart. When I knew to hear them coming, I would fucking do certain things. The worst thing you can do in prison when you're in the hole is cover the window. So what do? I cover the fucking window. So what do? They open the food slot and squirt fucking mace in my face. And you ever see mace shoot? It shoots 30 feet. So they're squirting it in my face. I drop down. I'm on my fucking stomach. Snot coming out of my nose. I'm fucking, you squeeze, you are done. You know about mace. They drag me out. They 4-point me. 4-pointing is when they take you and they strap you like this and they fucking abuse you. They strip you naked. I often tell people, don't ever fucking worry. I can strip naked in front of a fucking mall and lift my balls, turn around, spread my ass, and I wouldn't give a fuck. Because I lost that. I hate to say it, it's sad, but I lost that, dignity, if you want to call it. So they did that, but what do I do the next time? I took my mattress, you know how they are, the thin little piece of shits. I know what they're going to do. They're going to open the food slot. Not this time. I put my mattress. I said, fuck you. And they're screaming, Lawton, take it down. Lawton, you, fuck you, motherfuckers, suck my dick. Fuck, I'm cursing them out. They're fucking, all of a sudden I feel the mattress push back a little. They put a broom handle, push the mattress, and drop the concussion grenade. Those shits are no joke.
In a tiny ass cell, a concussion grenade.
There, you have no idea. It goes off. My ears are ringing. I fucking lost my equilibrium. Boom, I'm down. They drag you out, 4-point you, abuse you, do what they want. Next time, the shock with the fucking shields. And I'm like, it didn't take me. I think it was all of that abuse that opened my eyes. I was a brutal guy. I was a physical guy. And I liked it, to fight. My problem was, and now, you gotta remember, at this age, I'm young and strong and big and all that. I look at it, that taught me that the pen is mightier than the sword. By writing senators and congressmen, and I have letters from them all, that's what kept me alive, because they knew there was heat on the prison for what I was doing. And I've learned that the prisons don't give a fuck about Larry Lawton or anything. They care what happens to them, what investigations will come on. I got let, after writing senators, everything going on, I get let out of the hole after 11 months straight. 11 months straight. I was 3 years in the hole out of my time. 3 years in the hole. Well, out of this 11 months, I get out, and I'm walking. You know the whole. I come out. I'm as white as pale as anything. My legs barely move, and you could work out all you want. All you want. I did it. I did crazy routines in the hole. But when you get to the yard, try to walk long distances or something, it's a different. Your legs aren't working right. Everything is just a little bit different. You got to build up. So I'll never forget either. I have a Denable cigar. At that time, we're allowed to have cigars. And I had a Denable cigar, and I'm walking the track. Associate ward, second, you know what they are, comes up and says, Lawton, and I'm not even giving a fuck who he is. I come out, he goes, you need to stop writing these sentences and stuff. He goes, well, this is what he offers me. We'll give you what they call a get out of free jail card, which means if I got caught with alcohol or this or football tickets or whatever, they free, goodbye. They were gonna give me my own cell. And you know what kind of shit that is in prison? That's like fucking, nobody gets that. If you just stop writing senators. I said, I told the warden guy, I said, why are you coming to me? I says, what about that guy who's got no legs, who was in the hole next, right across from me? There was a guy with no legs. They let him piss himself and shit himself. He was a 50-year-old veteran. He was a disabled veteran with no legs, and they didn't give a flying fuck about him. And that's what I wrote an article to a newspaper about it, and people could look it up. It was in the Arctic Beacon, and I said to them, why don't you fucking go talk about that? He got so mad. You know, I told this associate ward, he leaves. He ends up getting fired. He got fired. I think some other people got in big trouble because after what happened to me, I kept writing. They couldn't make me quit. I'm one of those people, Jess. If it's in my head, I don't give a fuck what it took. And I think what all of that taught me was patience. Because when you write a letter in prison, it's on pencil in the hole, and you have to mail.
Pencils are this big.
Yeah, so you know. Yeah, little golf course pencils, I call them. And then you have to send that out in the mail and wait for a reply back in the mail. It's not like today, everybody hits a button and you're good. Not me. So I look at that in that way, that I think I'm lucky, if you ask me, to be where I'm at, and I think somewhat normal.
You're not normal.
Probably not.
But normal fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's true too.
I'm surprised they let the letters leave the compound, you know?
They have to, because they're picked up. Yes, they got caught stealing my mail.
Like, I knew that they had to at some point.
But it wasn't the bigwigs, because fucking with the mail is like one of the biggest offenses you can get. A mailman, a postal inspector will arrest his mother. You know, they're badass motherfuckers. And your mail is federal crime, number 1, 2. That's why I tell kids, don't go blow up a mailbox.
Nope.
You think it's a joke. Those fuckers don't play. They will come get you. One time they were stealing my mail. My father did it because I was very close with my dad. He's since passed, but my dad used to visit all over the country and write and everything else. And when he did, he didn't hear from me, and he contacted them, said something's wrong, and they set up a sting operation, and they caught the guard stealing my mail. And then I end up sitting in my cell. Down comes the warden and a captain, I think it was, says, what a lieutenant says, this guy's gonna pick up your mail every day. And I'm going, what the fuck? I have no idea what happened.
Yeah.
Well, you know, since there was investigation, some of your mail was oh, motherfuckers. I didn't find out till later what happened. But I'm the kind of person who wants to keep fighting. It's that, I don't know what it is, that the hard-headedness, New Yorker, you're a New Yorker, that gets me, you know, that makes me not quit. And I do not want to quit. And I think that's what keeps me even going to YouTube.
You know, I love you. And I can't imagine what you went through. Just so that everyone understands 2 things. First of all, we broke the law. We deserve to go to prison. But let me differentiate between, yes, we were wrong and deserve to do time, and the abuse is not okay. So a lot of times I get every day, about 100 times a day, shouldn't have broken the law. It's fucking ridiculous. You're not original. Stop commenting it. But it's not okay to justify the abuse and mistreatment of human beings because we made mistakes and broke the law. It's illegal to abuse and mistreat and beat people. So you're justifying the actions of one and not the other because the uniform is a different color.
There's right and wrong. And no two wrongs make a right. They're not supposed to abuse you or hurt you or something. They're supposed to incarcerate you. That means keep you there. They're not supposed to make your life worse. You are incarcerated. What your punishment is being away from your family, losing everything. That's freedoms, real freedoms. Getting up, like you say, go to a refrigerator, do something.
Yeah.
You don't have that. But human beings fuck up. So people ask me, they go, Larry, you have a friend on your channel that's a guard that was a guard for you. I said, yes, named Gary Massey, great guy. He actually found me on YouTube. I taught him how to make prison pasta. And he makes his daughter he goes, there's a guy that makes this pasta you make us. He goes, he looked at the video, he goes, that's the guy who showed me how to do it.
That's awesome.
That's how we found each other. And he's a great guy, but he treated you like a human being. Everybody incarcerated knows we're not in charge. You're the guard, I'm the inmate. You tell me what to do with respect, I'm going to do it. You just don't have to disrespect me. And I mean by disrespect is your mother sucks, your father sucks. You know, they say stuff to try to light you up, make you mad, do whatever.
They'll rip up your cell and destroy your shit, throw your stuff on the ground.
Things that they don't have to do. And I look at that as human beings doing that. And where there's many, there's always fuck-ups. Whether it's a police department, whether it's the guards, there's always going to be some that are no good. But we need to fix it. They need to police their own before they can police anybody else. That's my big issue with policing. Policing don't have trust because there's... How do you fuck with somebody when you know the guy's bad himself? So we need to police themselves. I think they'd get more trust with the community, guards with inmates, if you policed yourself. And if you do that, you'll show the community that, hey, you're not just out us against them. Because right now we have such an us against them mentality with law enforcement and the communities. It's wrong, because not all cops are bad, but the percentage are bad, get away with it. And I have to tell them, do you know got bad cops? And I mean bad cops. You know, yeah, we had a guy. What'd you do about it? Nothing.
Let
What the
him go.
fuck?
Fired him.
Yeah, why didn't you let me go? No, I mean, they let a guy's committing a crime go, but they won't let, their buddy. How do you get trust?
Well, thank you for coming on again. We're going to do a podcast with Larry, but I'm going to leave all of Larry's links in the description box of this video. You need his book. You need his merch. You need to just fall down a YouTube rabbit hole with Larry if you guys have not done so already. But thanks again for coming on the channel. We're going to go eat a whole bunch of food and have a good time in Florida because it's fucking gorgeous here. I might move.
It is gorgeous. I don't know about eating. I'm going on a cruise soon. So I'm trying to at least, I'm 250. I got to get down.
It's a cheat day. I'm in town. It's a cheat day.
I love your channel, Jess. Thanks for having me on. Keep up the great work. You're opening eyes every day. That's what's important. When it comes down to it, you are a positive force for the people. And keep that in the bottom of your head, bottom line, and you'll be great.
You too. All of that back at you. Bye, you guys.